Good morning, it's still morning. Got some bad news, or kind of upcoming bad news. We've got an ice storm coming in. It's looking like it's going to be pretty bad. For those of you who are new, I am converting this ex-U-Haul box truck into a work living space. And we had a few years ago a big freeze in Texas that was just crazy. Like, it was absolutely insane. All the power shut down. Transport was completely written off. So looks like we're gonna have something similar, possibly even worse. It was described as a once in a lifetime ice storm. So yeah, temperatures at the moment are forecast to drop into the teens. So yeah, being in a box truck during something like this makes it interesting. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to figure out how to prepare to make sure that everything's okay. So I have Googled and I'm looking at a bunch of stuff. What I'm doing is charging my battery off the grid. So the grid went down in the last big freeze for like a few days. And that meant heating was difficult. Well, it was pretty much impossible. So I'm charging all my batteries up. I obviously have solar power, so I'm not 100% reliant on the grid, but you know, when it's overcast, there's only a certain amount of electricity that's generated, and it's definitely not enough to keep a space heater going. So that's my only source of heat right now. So I'm gonna write myself a checklist to do this, and we'll take you through what actually happens. So charging everything to 100%. 100%. So I'm going to try and figure out, like I said, I've just got a space heater at the moment. Obviously I have insulation, but what I might do is I might buy myself an electric blanket So things I need to do now is charge everything, all of my backup power, batteries, lights, all that sort of stuff, get everything to 100%. Charging my lights, I need to dump my water, refill my water to make sure I've got full water for the weekend. I'm gonna do my laundry as well, so get that out of the way to make sure that I have clean everything. But the things I'm gonna buy, I'm just gonna do a big Amazon order. So I'm gonna buy a dehumidifier or damp rid for moisture buildup. Because obviously if it's warm in here and it's cold outside, there's going to be like condensation. So I need to do that. I need to buy groceries. I'm going to buy thermals. I'm going to buy maybe a separate dehumidifier. I'm going to look into alternate heating because this space heater is small. I might buy an electric blanket because I've heard that electric blankets are actually a lot more, they're actually quite low wattage for what you get. So I might buy an electric blanket, and then I'm going to upgrade my sleeping bag. Stocking up, hunkering down mainly. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of, you know, backup power. I've got my batteries, I've got solar power, I've got solar panels for my battery. It's due to hit Saturday, so I think I've got enough time to prep. So let's get to it. This may be a longer video, or maybe split into a couple of videos, I don't know. But we are prepping for a winter storm. This is chaos in here right now. I've got my laundry out, getting organized. I've got my warm clothes coming out, getting organized there. Let me show you. Let's go. I've got some warm clothes on the go. I've got things charging. I've got my laundry ready to do. Just a bunch of stuff plugged in. I'm charging my toothbrush, I'm charging my mouse, my keyboard, my lights. Basically everything with the battery is being charged right now. So I am 100% on preparation mode. So let's go see if we can put our laundry in. I'm not sure whether someone's using the laundry at the moment. Looks like I got kind of lucky. No one is using the laundry right now, so I'm going to quickly put it in and continue prepping with the other stuff. Just gonna stay here and run the engine. What I might actually do for the storm as well is to maybe keep my engine ticking over a little bit when it's at its worst and running the heater. I have like 3/4 of a tank of gas, so I think that if I just keep the engine on and idling a little bit and have the heater on, that will also obviously help generate heat, but also probably help the battery, I imagine. I may have to Google that. My heaters are working, which is good. Ooh. So I'm definitely able to get some heat from them, which is nice. It actually warms up pretty quickly. Okay, we've run the engine. My backup power unit is charged up. My laundry is in. I have tested the heater filament on my cab AC. So we got that. Everything's charging. Things are in progress right now. I need to turn up the lights. It's very dark in here for some reason. That's better. That's better. Okay, so everything is in progress, which is good. I feel good about. I am going to figure out groceries. I'm going to order them to be brought here because that's what I do. I live in a truck and I don't drive anywhere. Cool, let's order groceries. So everything feels like an absolute mess right now. Absolute chaos in here while I get prepared. But it's better chaos now than chaos later. So let's look for stuff. Damp rid, okay. No thermals. Okay. So I'm gonna get a sleeping bag that's rated at 20. My current sleeping bag is, I don't know what rating my current sleeping bag is. I think it's 30. $30 30 degrees sleeping bag. All right, this sleeping bag is $35. The limit is 23. The comfortable is between 0 and 10. So that is better than the one that I have, and it can arrive tomorrow. So let's get that. Okay, that took a while. Electric blanket. All right, and I'm gonna get this heated blanket. It's only 50 by 60 inches, so it's not like it's an entire bed, but it's big enough to plug in and just wrap around me, so I don't have to use a space heater. The space heater, so the power that this uses is between 100 and 140 watts. A space heater uses 1,000 watts. So I'm gonna use this, to keep me warm during the day and night, I think. So that's only $33 and can come tomorrow, so that's good. Okay. Now I'm going to get a wind-up flashlight. Hand crank flashlight. So it's a flashlight. It's a radio, I guess, for a weather forecast. It is also a night light, a reading light. If you need it for a long time. Solar powered. Also has a hand crank on it. Okay, we've got that. And then some thermal socks as well. Alright, so I've got my order done. I'm taking no chances with this. I have thermal socks. I have reusable heat pads. I have a hand crank flashlight, night light, and all that sort of stuff. I have an electric blanket. I have a sleeping bag, new sleeping bag. I have thermal long johns. I already have gloves and hats here, so I don't need that. And then I have damp rid, moisture absorber kind of stuff. So it's about $150 worth of stuff, but it's good stuff to have in the truck regardless. So it's something that I will have needed, and it's not a terrible amount. I'm gonna hold off. I don't think I'm gonna get a Mr. Buddy because the whole space doesn't need to be heated. It's really just me. So I'm not gonna get a Mr. Buddy for now. I will eventually buy myself a diesel heater and install it. So for now, as long as I have lots and lots of layers and sources of heat, I do have my space heater. I will have this electric blanket as well. I think I'll be okay because I also have, all my backup power and stuff. So I think I'm going to be okay. Lots and lots of layers is going to be the main thing. So I'm going to buy that. I'm talking myself off a ledge here. I'm going to buy that. Then I'm going to go and switch over my laundry. So we're moving forward. But it wasn't something I wanted to do today. But I'll tell you the story one time about why I really want to make sure that I'm prepared. I'll tell you that one time. Second batch of laundry is in. First batch is in the dryer, and I have just started to put in my Instacart order as well. So I think we're in a pretty good spot so far. I think so. I'm feeling fairly confident about it. Fairly confident. Second batch of laundry done, dry. My whites or my lights. And I've got my groceries on the way, which is awesome. Very happy about that. So I'm pretty sure that everything that is needed for this weekend is on the way. Pretty sure. And that we're in a good spot. So I don't think that I'm missing anything at this moment in time. But my brain is definitely racking up, trying to think of what else I could be missing. So I think that's the one thing with van life or truck life, whatever you want to call it, is making sure that you always have multiple sources of everything. Because if you only have one source of something, you're kind of screwed. So multiple sources of power, multiple sources of water. Oh yeah, that's one thing that I definitely need to do, is make sure that I do my water. The water situation should be okay. I mean, it's only a faucet and a hose behind, but obviously if it's freezing cold weather, I need to make sure that I disconnect the hose. Should I do something to the pipe? Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud that the the RV park owner may not be doing anything to help to prevent the pipes from freezing over and the faucets on each of the pads. I mean, I know it's not technically my responsibility, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to do it. It doesn't mean that I should do nothing. Maybe I'll email him and just ask if there's anything that we should be doing. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, okay. So I just spoke with the shopper, and he said that's the busiest he's ever seen the local HEB grocery store. So obviously, when people know there's a storm coming and the stuff that happened last time, people stock up. So they were out of a lot of things. He said that's the busiest he's ever been. So he had like, his whole trunk was just filled with orders. So I'm glad I don't feel like I'm over preparing. A lot of other people are worried as well. I think we got everything done. I think tomorrow I'm going to dump my water and refill that up. And I should be getting my Amazon order in tomorrow as well with all the warmth stuff. Everything is charged. My battery is full. I will obviously top it up to full tomorrow as well for as long as I can. I'll just keep it at 100% and we'll see how bad it gets. It may not be too bad. It may be really bad. We just don't know until it arrives. I'll speak to you tomorrow. For today, I'm clocking out. It is the next morning. I've got my Amazon stuff, or most of my Amazon stuff. I still haven't got my sleeping bag or my hand warmers, but I do have these hiking socks that look very fluffy. I have my thermals. I have my little wind-up, radio flashlight, which is pretty powerful. Ooh, there's a bunch of stuff. And it also has a little reading light as well, or a work light. So that's super good. I've got my damp rid moisture absorber as well. And then I have my heated blanket, heated throw. I'm excited. I'm always excited when I get a haul. So I definitely feel more prepared for this. When I told some people about the storm that's coming, and they were like, "Oh, just stay in a hotel. Surely that's safer, right?" And I was like, "Actually, no. Being here, yes, it's slightly less insulated, but I have backup power. I have food. I have everything prepared. If I conserve electricity, then this is actually a really safe spot. I also have solar power to keep on generating electricity. It's going to be less because it's, overcast, but there's actually something. I'm actually in a really good spot here. There's no point in paying the massively jacked up prices that hotels are going to charge you to be in a situation where if the power goes out, you're actually worse off. Because if their power goes out, it's probably going to be bottom of the list to be turned back on. Having the battery backup that I do have and backup power, I'm in a safer spot. So this blanket, let's see, level 8. Okay. This is the full power, and it is pulling 115 watts. Now the question is it going to do anything? I'm definitely feeling the warmth from it. Definitely feeling warmth from it. Ooh. I don't think that that's even remotely close to full power yet, but I definitely, that is getting toasty, and it's only pulling 100 watts. So I could run this just off the power bank for just under 4 hours off this power bank, and this isn't even my biggest power bank. So I could run this off my main battery for days at a time. Cool. Happy with that. That makes me very happy. So let this be a note that if I die from hypothermia in this situation, or if I just get hypothermia period, I'm gonna look so foolish, because I really do think that I've prepared as much as I can. I mean, I've got power for days. I've got heating elements for days. This is only supposed to be for like maybe a day. What could go wrong? Famous last words. Honestly, pretty warm right now. It's 10 past 1. Just about to connect my water, but yeah, it is, I think as my electronics are going and I've got everything charging and stuff, I think it's just warm as hell in here right now. But it is not going to stay that way. Apparently it's 65 outside and 75 inside. The temperature is supposed to go down to 25 over the weekend, so that's what I'm preparing for. 75 inside is, I'm fine with that. I think we're pretty much there. I think we're pretty much in a good spot so far. So tomorrow is the big day where we're going to find out whether shit's going to hit the fan. So I think I'm going to wrap up this video here. I'm going to make myself a coffee, some lunch, get tidied up, and I'm prepared for this weekend. We shall see. We shall see what happens. Thank you for joining me. For now, I'm clocking out.